I think since we're speaking of youth today, I think getting youth to make a commitment, though, is really hard and it's really important. At least North American youth. Again, I have a 20-year-old and a 22-year-old, and they're constantly making commitments. I am this, I am not this, I am this, I am not this. But what if the church never asked them to make a commitment? There's a problem there as people are defining who they are. So I think there will never be a time when we don't want to ask people to consciously appropriate for themselves their decision to follow Jesus Christ. I believe in conversion. I don't believe in a simplistic conversion. I don't even believe it's usually, for most people, it's not instant, though it can be, but there is a point of decision for people where they make a decision. This is my identity. Anthropologists talk about it as identity formation or as group affiliation. That conversion involves deciding you are part of this community. Your identity is now being formed by this group. And so we need to continue to call Christians out of all the myriad groups they're in and say, yes, but also you are making a conscious decision to be part of the body of Christ.
Both and here's one of the central issues of, well, what may once have been called enculturation, that it's not a removal, a stripping away of one's cultural history, of one's cultural existence, but rather a merging, a weaving together.
Because we all carry multiple identities. Now, I think the older views of conversion, at least in the West, would talk about breaking one identity and starting another. We now realize from anthropology and other social sciences and psychology, we are multiple things. I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a teacher, I am a missiologist. No, I am all these things, and they're simultaneously, and I am a Christian. There ought to be a way of having people identify as Christians, but still relating to all these other identities. Donald McGavran talked about it as the bridges of God. Again, that's a relational model of mission, that you can't communicate what Jesus Christ means unless you have a relationship with somebody else. So people, they become potential witnesses in every one of their identities through this, both their self-chosen identity as Christians and all their other identities.
You speak about that especially in your new book about women taking those multiple roles on. Witness as mother, witness as wife, witness as teacher.
No, that's right. I think the incarnation tells us God calls us out from the world in a way, but we are never leaving it. We are part of it. And so we have to learn to be witnesses in whatever roles and identities we find ourselves in. Now, there are some identities that might be incompatible, I could see, with what it means to be a Christian. But there's no place on earth so far away that God can't reach there. That's part of it, too. God is bigger than we are. There's nothing, ultimately, that can separate us from the love of Christ. And the Bible is very clear about that. No matter what we've done or who we are, what identity we have, God's mercy and grace are stronger than those impediments to us following God.